Hey, so I'm gonna make a video about the story of my ex. So here we go. I met my ex in 2014, November 24th, I think. He gave me to be honest on my backup page. He was like, to be honest, you cool. I don't know you, but change that because you're a stranger, blah blah blah. I was like, thank you. Then it's like, what's your kick? And I gave him my kick. And he started kicking me. And I was like, hi. And he's like, what you doing? I'm like, on my tablet, just texting you. And then he was like, that's what's up. I was like, what you doing? He was like, nothing, chilling, texting you. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, where you from? He was like, East Oakland. I was like, you from Oakland? Because all the boys I talked to, they live like in Alabama or some shit. So I was like, okay, okay. And then he's like, you from Oakland? I was like, yeah. He was like, what part? North? Fun nigga, Ice City out here. And he was like, that's what's up. And I was like, how old you is? He was like 15. I was like, okay, I'm 13. And so yeah, what happened? He was like, I kept giving him compliments, and he kept saying thank you. And then next day, I woke up to a text message. He was still texting me because I fell asleep. And then I was like, you acting rude. He was like, how? He was like, cause you didn't give me no compliment. He was like, you wanna know something? I was like, what? He's like, you acting cute. I'm like, thank you. I don't know what he thought my reaction was gonna be. Like, nigga, I'm not gay. The fuck? Like, no, thank you. Shit. The fuck. So yeah. And then he was like, what you doing on Saturday? I'm like, nothing. He was like, wanna go to Street? I was like, let's shop. And then I was like, who gonna be your date? He was like, you. I was like, you gonna buy me something? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I spent the night at my sister's house. I told her about the dude. I was like, what's your name? He was like, Shy. I was like, okay. And we kept talking. And then he was like, he just kept talking and talking. I kept listening and laughing. Um, he was like, we got to change where we're going to base you because he had to get his phone fixed. It was broke as fuck. So I was like, okay, it's okay, you know. And then my mom, she always got to make me go to my grandma's house, which I'm at my grandma's house right now. So yeah, she was like, you gotta go to your grandma's house. I was like, fuck. And then it was good timing because the day he had to get his phone fixed and I forgot, so it was okay. So um, I guess we started going out, and so it was going good. You know, we said I loved you, and yeah. And I always had this fantasy where I would just go to his house, spend the night, I was like, where am I gonna be? She was like, my mom don't come back home until like 1, 2, 3. I'm like, damn, like shit. So it's basically gonna be me, him, and I think he got like sisters and brothers at his house. I don't know. So I really was the ship. I was gonna be in his room anyway. Oh, one day I asked for a dick pic. And then he was like, it's gonna be our little secret, okay? I was like, okay. He sent me it. I was like, damn. I was like, it was like, whoa, like, damn. So yeah. he what else happened? He kept saying I was playing because he was done. I kept catting on him. So I was like, you really want to come see me? He was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, come meet me out by the bus stop by McDonald's. He was like, all right. So he did. I snuck out. It was easy. I should have just asked, cause now that I look back, I should have just asked. That's stupid. But I snuck out. Yeah, and I saw him at the bus stop. I was so scared. Like my heart was beating so fast. So I saw him. I was like, I'm here. And then he was like, kept looking at me up and down. I was like, boy, like you don't want none of this. And so he got up. I was like, whoo, you know. So I was like, you rude. I didn't get a hug. He gave me a hug. He smelled like strawberries. Like that nigga. He smelled so good. Like damn. So, we was talking and walking. I asked for his phone. I was like, "What's your password?" He's like, 4 words. I was like, "Babe, bitch, me?" I'm like, "What?" Like he wouldn't tell me. Like I don't know 4 words, nigga. Just tell me your password. He just talked in his password. But make cute. Um, he we got to the corner and I was like, "You should give me a kiss." And he went up to me and we kissed. His lips are so soft, like I just don't understand. Like me and my mom like juicy lips. That his lips were juicy and they were perfect. Just like um. So we were supposed to go to the park, but like I step. Ooh, I almost called him my stepdad, but mom's boyfriend called me. He's like, "Javon, where you at? Get your butt back here." I was like, "Okay, the fuck, get your fat ass out of my face, bitch." So I was like, "I gotta go," and we started kissing and hugging. And then he walked me halfway home, and he was like, "I was like, I love you." He's like, "I love you too." I was like, "I love you more." I love you more. And I was like, ah. So as soon as I got in the house, I got in trouble. I was at work. So I fell asleep, took a little nap, and I woke up to his text message. He was like, "Did you get in trouble?" I was like, "Yeah, but it was worth it because I got to saw you." In my relationship with him, I was childish. I'm not gonna lie. I was really childish. I was calling his phone, pretending to cry. I was just stupid as fuck. Like, I was being so childish. Pretend I was drunk. Like, nigga, my 13-year-old ass not drunk. So, I was just being so childish. And then we kind of broke up. But we got back together real fast, real quick, bruh. So, I just said, we gonna have to take a break. And I was like, "I'm leaving you in 2014. He's like, "Bitch, I'm leaving you in 2014. I was like, "Okay, sure." So I kicked him because it was easy to remember his phone number and his kick. So I kicked him. He was like, "What you want?" I was like, "Well, don't ever." And he was like, "Hi." And I was like, "Hi." And he was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm at home." He was like, "The dumbest question he ever asked me is why." Like, did you ask me why I'm at home, nigga? Like, I live here. Duh. So he was like, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, mm-hmm. And so he was like, "Why you doing it at home? Like, don't you gotta go to school?" Like, no, I'm on break. He's like, until January 15th. But I think his birthday January 12th, 13th, or the 15th, I think. So yeah. Um I'm sorry. I'm watching something. I'm sorry. But he was we got back together and cuz I called him daddy and he's like I didn't mean to I did that on purpose to see what he was going to do. And I was like, "I didn't mean to do that." He was like, "Mm-hmm." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Where you at?" I'm at home. He was like, "I'm finna come over." I was like, "Okay." So I met him at the bus stop and you know, we kissed. And my mom met him. And then she was like, "What's your name?" And then he was like, "Shaheem." I was like, "Shaheem? I didn't know your name was Shaheem, nigga." Because every time I'd be like, "Who is you?" He'll say, "Shaheem." Like, I didn't know what he was saying. He was going too fast. So, yeah. And then kids, we dry humps. He always knew how to make me laugh. One time his breath stank. I was like, "I'm sorry not to be rude, but your breath stink." He was like, "What?" Because I thought he was gonna hit me. I was like, "Your breath stink." He's like, "Say it again." And then he got up. This nigga went to the door, closed the door. He was like, "Say it again." I was like, "Your breath stink." He was like, "Ooh, your breath stink." I'm like, "Nigga, if my breath stank, nigga, what the fuck?" And then so we went to the bathroom. We took a mouthwash and made sure that breath was minty fresh, nigga. I'm not gonna kiss you in your breath smelling like shit. The fuck, nigga, I look like. So yeah, and what else? Yeah. So one day I was with my girls and he called me. He was like, "Where you at?" I was like, "I'm at Bay Street." He was like, "I'm finna come." I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "My boyfriend coming, y'all." They was like, "Nigga, please." And my friend Simone's sister, Ariana, she was meeting up with her best friend Kofi. So it's just gonna be me, Simone, my boyfriend. Simone's gonna be third wheeling. So he came. I saw him. He was like sneaking up, I guess. And I was like, so that's him. She's like, where? I'm like, him. He had glasses, a bucket hat, skinny ass shirt, a Gucci backpack, and I guess tight ass pants. He was acting different, to be honest. Um, he was like, cause like usually I'll be like, you stink. He'd be like, bitch, I never stink. The fuck, you want to smell me? He was like, bitch, you can't smell me because you can't. I'm like, okay. And so he went to the band store to buy some shoelace or shoes. My girls, Kofi, she was like, she looked at him, Mecca, and they both looked at each other like, oh, don't be fighting. And then she was like, your boyfriend steal. I was like, no, he don't. Like, leave me alone. And then she kept yelling at me. And then I walked him to the corner because I wasn't finna go because he was irritating me. So he was like, and I was like, okay. So so he I walked home and I called him. I was like, where you at? He was like, I'm at the store. He's like, you want to come, baby? I was like, yeah. And he was like, can you buy me a Pepsi? He's like, all right. And then he came. Everything was good. And then he was good. He was cool. And next day he was in his feelings. He was like, right. He's like, you really heartbroken. Like, I'm really sitting on the bus crying right now. I was like, really? So I was like, you come over tonight. And he did. And then he made me laugh, nigga. Because my cat don't like him. She looked at him. She was like, meow. And I was like, my cat don't like you. He was like, she don't like me. And I'm like, you. I like, but my cat don't like you. He was like your cat don't like me, but I don't like you. I was like, and so the breaking point was on my birthday, like February 11th. He was like, why you don't ever want to talk to me anymore? I was like, to be honest, I just want to be your friend. Like, I had no intention to go out with you. Blah, blah. So if Shaheem ever says that he broke up with me, I broke up with him. The real reason why I broke up with you, Shaheem, is because one, you was faking around people. Like every time I was with my friends, you was with your friends. You would just be faking, like for real, for real. Okay. And the second thing was you was just too gay for me. Like I'm sorry, but like you was just I like a man, and I told him that, and he was and cause like we and him be texting like 2015 we was texting and well the thing is he came back to my life. He kicked me. He was like, why you block my number? I'm like, I didn't block your number. Cause I don't know how to do that, nigga. I got an Android. Like, how am I gonna block your number? And then he was like, I miss you. I was like, oh, okay. I don't miss you. And so he kept saying stuff. So I just like deleted him, blocked him, whatever. Yeah. And I just want to be done with him. I'm like, this shit hurt. Um, yeah, so I would be Snapchatting him. We used to talk on the phone still. And then he was like really still in love with me. And like I would be playing like I was in love, but then feelings kept catching back. And I was kept calling him, texting. He was like, what you want? I don't know. So I guess it's over between me and Shy. And I made a vow to myself that I would never call Shy or text Shy, no matter what. Like no. So I just went off hella off topic, huh? But yeah, but my advice to y'all is choose who you date wisely because you gonna be on their tip a lot. Don't do the mistakes I did to be honest. 'Cause yesterday I called Shaheem and it was a big mistake. Like I just don't want nothing to do with Shaheem. Like I hope him the best. I love him still. Not like that, but love like a friend. No, hey, who will know? I don't know. So I just hope y'all choose y'all relationships wisely and never go out with just choose your relationship wisely. So update is I don't talk to Shy, you don't talk to me. still we follow each other on Snapchat. Um, he blocked me on Instagram on my original account. I followed him on backup page, and yeah, so it's basically over between me and Shy. So I'm not tripping. So yeah, bye. And I'm gonna talk to you about some relationships.